Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We're joined by an old friend today, Ben Wiersum of Ben Wiersum Sound Technology. Now, Ben, you've known us for a long time. People who may see us out in the field may notice you as well because you've helped us with our audio for the longest time. You've had a company for well over 10 years. So I think many people wonder, what does a sound company do?
Well, Liz, it's an excellent question. We handle all aspects of taking an existing source of something that makes noise, whether it's a person talking or band, or it could be playback, and we make it so that attendees in an area can hear whatever happens to be going on. So that can take shape in multiple ways. We might be repairing a sound system that's permanently installed in somewhere like a performing arts venue or gymnasium, or for an event, we might supply all of the equipment and set it up on a temporary basis for a parade or a corporate function. We've worked with NCTV. We've had the pleasure of tag teaming with you on several occasions for events around the community. Anywhere where a person talking wouldn't be loud enough and you need to take their voice and make it heard over a large area. And then as technology has evolved and different technical disciplines, if you will, have become more integrated with each other, we have dovetailed with that as well. And really, we'll help customers not only install or maintain a sound system for their facility, but we'll also, look at how does this integrate with video and how does this integrate with other aspects of a production. As everything's gotten more and more involved, we can really be a go-to for our customers for any media challenges they might have.
Right, and so when we think about sound, I think sound is one of the most underappreciated things that in a production or at a school where you might need it, or a hospital or a public building. People just assume you're going to slap in a couple speakers and they're all going to work.
There's a lot more to it than that usually.
Right. And so you help people understand what they need and then either install and buy it and install them for it.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, and a lot of people don't know what they need.
Right.
And we always tell them, that's okay, that's why you have us.
Right.
And what we're usually looking for out of a customer is, if they already have a system and we're looking to either repair it or modify it or improve it, we want to know, what is it doing that it shouldn't be doing, or what do you want it to do that you can't? And that can be anything from, this microphone crackles to, well, we've been using this room next door as overflow, but there are no speakers in there. There's also a lot of people, if they're coming to us with a new construction, it's a new facility, it's a new business concept, they might not know what to ask for, and we can really help steer that conversation towards, it might help you if you did this, and have you considered doing something along these lines, and can really help steer some of these conversations when a business is looking to open a new restaurant location, or they're going to expand and now the bar has live music on Friday nights, or the gym just used to be basketball, but now we're holding events in there every so often and need to be able to have people be heard.
Well, that leads me to another question of what types of, I think we take for granted what places have audio, because I think your examples were, so what type of businesses do you serve? I mean, I forgot all about the restaurants, but yes, sure. They have too much, sometimes I think they have too much music.
Yes,
too much sound.
And we can often help with that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't necessarily realize with something like a restaurant, even if you have a system, bring us in. We probably can improve it and help with challenges like that. So to answer your question, any type of commercial or industrial facility, and there's sound in a lot of surprising places. Mm-hmm. Car dealerships, background music and paging, that's big business, and someone has to maintain and keep all that running, and you got a new phone system, we'll help you interface to your existing sound system. Hospitality, restaurants, any sort of bars, any place where people might be gathered. Medical, doctor's office waiting rooms. And like you say, a lot of people take it for granted. You don't think about, you're sitting there and there's that music playing quietly in the background. That might be our work. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of places in the area where we were the ones on the ladders mounting the loudspeakers. Churches are a big one. Mm-hmm. And it used to just be you had the sanctuary and there might be one or two microphones and that was it. But nowadays it's a full band, it's a large scale production. There's multiple people with wireless microphones. You're feeding other areas of the building, remote broadcasts, recording. And a lot of those needs have either changed or really grown, especially in these last couple of years, to where a sound company probably has a lot of benefit for your organization.
Right. Well, I think, again, I think we often take it for granted, and it's not a skill that is something they can, I think, pick up on the fly. I think we all think, I have a friend who's in a band.
Yes.
And so he plays guitar, so he has an amp, so he knows what he's doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those people can be an excellent resource, and it's nice to have somebody like that with an organization. And a lot of times we'll say, why don't we meet with them? Let's look at what equipment you're using. There might be some tricks that we know, or if you added these couple of pieces where just some minor adjustments by a professional can really help take not only your system to the next level, but can help people like that sort of achieve their full potential with what they've been given to work with.
Right. Well, I think technology has helped a lot. I feel that technology has come down in price, but it's smaller, more sophisticated, so I think it's allowed a little bit of room in people's budgets for somebody to hire somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yes, I agree. And everything has changed, and it's gotten a lot more approachable. And I often talk about, even a small live music venue. 10 years ago, it would have been an analog console in one location, and you have to have somebody who knows what they're doing to run it. You can kind of stumble your way through it if you don't, but it was a lot more difficult. Nowadays, for very little money, there are units you can get that can be buried away in an electrical room somewhere off the kitchen. It doesn't necessarily have to be taking up floor space on the restaurant. And then your operator can walk around and hear what it sounds like at the different tables, interact with the band, and remote control it from something like an iPad or a wireless tablet. It's less expensive than most people realize. So that technology was very much in its infancy 10 years ago, and nowadays it's very common. And implementing that into an existing system or installing that into a new system is something that can really help a venue sort of operate at a higher level. And suddenly, if you have the acoustic night on Tuesday night and you want a system that's very simple, that's doable. But if it's far more complicated for a larger band on a Friday or a Saturday, same equipment, different operation mode, recall a different preset. There's huge benefit with a lot of this as well. Not that people don't do it. It's gotten a lot harder to screw up.
Right.
And we're fortunate that if something does go wrong, one of the first things we tell people, if we're troubleshooting through it, recall the other preset. And usually any mistakes that were made, you can just kind of go back a step. And it helps make things a little more approachable and a little more user-friendly, and it's easier in the sense that it's harder to actually break something.
True. Well, and I think all of that, I think if the technology has given us time, because it's easier. I think it's allowed us to have a little bit of money so we can hire someone like your company, which makes it easier on us because you set it up. You're the pros. I think it's about time when you hire an expert like yourself.
Yes.
When you're doing it, you're realizing the value of it, and you're also wanting to save yourself time.
Yes, and time is a huge component to it. And the more complicated things get, we get people who call our shop all the time. They have this list of problems that happened. They tried to do something, it didn't work. And we'll tell them, we'll just take care of it. Just let us handle it. Tell us what the problems are. That frees up, if it's an event, the clock is ticking. You've got 2 hours to complete setup, and the guests are arriving whether you're ready or not. So let us take the pressure off of you and let us handle any aspects of that so that when you're dealing with your event, there's a million other last minute things that are come up. You can focus on those. We'll take care of the sound. We'll make you sound like a winner. And if it's a permanently installed system, we tell people, let us worry about it. People will call us all the time and they're stressed out over, we're trying to do this, but we don't know how we're going to get the wire there, and the cable's too short, and what do we do about this? And I say, don't worry about it. So much of what we do is custom. We'll bring in a bulk spool of wire and we'll pull it through conduit, and the customer's standing there saying, I never would have even thought to do that, and there's no way we could have done that. And we can really be a good resource for, you just don't need to worry about it. You can focus your time on other aspects of your organization or your event or the production. Let us take care of the sound. It's one less thing for you to worry about.
And I couldn't agree more. That's what we do all the time. When we have a sound issue, we contact you and say, let's have Ben do that
Well,
sound.
thank you.
Because it's so much easier. Thank you, Ben, for stopping by, giving us a little insight into your world, and giving us an update on where you're going. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity, Liz.
We're going to be right back with more Business Connections. Stay tuned.